Hey everybody, and welcome back to X-Plane 11. We're doing something a little bit different here tonight. We're going to stream this episode, which is episode 6 of our trip all the way around Ireland. Our flight today, we're on the ground here at Sligo Airport, and we're going to be heading up there to, let me get rid of that music. We're going to be heading up there to Donegal, which is kind of north from here, about 35-40 minutes up north. The plane we're using today, we finally got the Just Flight stuff working. I was having activation problems with them over the last couple of days, and it turned out to be a plug-in that was every time you'd activate the plane, you'd have to use your serial, reload the plane, it'd be grand, and you go to fly it, we say the next day, and it would look for the activation again. So a real pain in the butt. But I want to give a big shout out to the guys at Thranda and at Just Flight for all the work they put in to finally get it sorted. And it's sorted. So we have our 3 wonderful planes from Just Flight. So today we're going to be using the Just Flight Warrior 2 for our flight. And the weather today, it's not too bad. We have broken clouds at around 3,000 feet. We have the wind is calm. It's only 1 or 2 knots coming in there from the east. So the flight conditions here are quite good. So it'll be a morning departure out of Sligo. We're going to head up then into Donegal. So we'll be passing a smaller kind of a airstrip on the way up at Ballyshannon there. It's Finner Camp, and it's operated from the Defence Forces here in Ireland. The Air Corps used to fly Cessnas and whatnot up there. Now I think they still have a couple of chopper flights up there, and the Coast Guard operate there at the odd time as well. But it's just the scenery for X-Plane doesn't really lend itself to landing planes there. There's a lot of trees and stuff, and X-Plane kind of thinks the main runway is a taxiway because it's only a small little strip. So with that said, what we're going to do, we'll show you this plane first. It's cool. You see the modelling and the texture work from Just Flight. It's absolutely fantastic. The use of PBR is great. The sounds are great. Physics, everything about them, I'm blown away by them. This option up here, this arrow, what it does essentially, it gives you access to kind of quick select menus. So you can open and close the doors. You can select what GPS, I suppose, you want to use. You can display X-Plane's default one, or you can load up the 750 into it as well. You have reflections, you have turn on lights, turn off lights, weight and balance. You can automatically select your fuel tanks here as well. Select your sounds, so you have all that stuff there. So we'll close it up, checklist and all that. Close it up, remove the static objects, and we'll hop inside. So first things first, select the fuel tank. Usually by default it'll be off. So that's all grand. I guess rid of the torch. Next thing then, we can turn on our batteries. Now the avionics come on automatically, and you'll see now if I try to manipulate the GTN in here, it doesn't really want to work. It just kind of freezes. But if we right click it, try that again. If we right click it, we have full control over it. So that's grand. We'll get into that now in a sec. Turn on our beacon, our nav lights. Keep the strobes off for a minute. So we're going to get our fuel pumps on. Should get a reading over here then of our fuel. Throttle could come in about a quarter. And we're going to turn our mags. And we'll start up. A good start in the engine. Keep the RPM at around 1000. We can lean out ever so slightly. We'll get our EGT rising up here in the top left. This dude here. So all looks well. So we're going to go back into our GTN, and we're going to do a direct to mode. And where we're going to is Echo India Delta Lima, Donegal, or Donegal for us locals here in Ireland. Now it's a VFR flight, where we're just going to use this as a nav aid, so it's pretty much a slightly off north heading there into Donegal. There's not much up there bar a couple of mountains, but it's a morning flight, so it should look the part. It should be closed. Fuel pump can come off. Sounds really good on this thing. Okay, so what we're going to do, get our taxi light on, and we're going to taxi up the taxiway here. This is Alpha. Turn right, taxi down the runway, do a U-turn, and then we'll take on off out of here. So that's the plan. So a couple of things before we go. Make sure that our trim is set to take off, which that is about right. Drop a notch of flaps. Transponder altitude, we're squawking 1200. And we should just be able to roll on out. So this scenery, you can download it from the X-Plane forums. It's quite good. I've been in Sligo a couple of times, and it's fairly accurate. They've painted that building; it's now kind of green, but and that church isn't there. It's a ruin, so it's only about a quarter of that church. But apart from that, they're bang on. And I don't think that church is actually with this scenery. So we'll do our run up here. Parking brake set to on. Mixture can go in. We're going to bring our RPM up. Now we'll do our mag check. So we'll go for our left mag. Drop of about 150 on our RPM. Back to both. Select the right mag. Same again. We're good. Drop the throttle back. Make sure it doesn't cut out. That's good. Fuel pump back on for takeoff. Drop the throttle. Make sure it doesn't cut out. And we're good. Okay. So we've no traffic today. I have World Traffic 3. I've no ground route set up here for Sligo, so we'll wait till landing lights on here on our pitos. We'll wait till we have something a bit better in terms of airports that have ground routes and stuff, and we'll get some World Traffic action. So I think the plan after this, we're going to ramble over to from Donegal. We'll probably ramble over to Derry, over to Belfast. Then we'll start heading back down south again, making our way slowly but surely back to Dublin. And then from Dublin, I think the plan is then we're going to go across the English Channel into Wales, and it'd be nice to do a couple of flights around England. So if you guys if you've any requests of that, or if there's places you guys want to see, just let me know. I can get whatever scenery is needed. So that's what we will be doing. Now, just on that, our old heading here is not straight, so it's just off an easterly direction. Spin this guy around. We're not too far off the mark. And we turn this way. We'll just kind of get it lined up with east. It's about there. Cool. Okay, so we'll spin around here. Get ourselves lined up. Okay, set the parking brake. Now just do a quick check before we go. So all our lights should be on. These guys should be nice and bright. Our lights behind our head turn on here as well. Yeah, like you'll see with the modelling from Just Flight, it looks brilliant. Like it's you have like dirt in the ground, and these pipers, like they're not new, like, so they really get across to you the feeling of and the look of an aged plane. You have some nice wear and tear marks all over the place. It's really good. So you'll see from our tacho here, not a lot of time spent on this plane at all. So the chat is open here as well, guys. Anyone wants to drop a couple of hellos or comments, please do. So we're ready to depart from here. We'll do a quick check. So disappear these guys for a minute. Fuel ring's okay, oil temperature's okay, oil pressure just off the green, but it's okay. We'll increase our RPM for that. RPM currently sitting just over 1,000, that's fine. Our ampemeter is running okay, and our suction is okay for the gyro. Everything seems to be just wonderful. We'll see. Flaps should be down for 1 notch, which they are. Okay guys, let's head on out. Okay, so we're going to be looking for 60 knots here, and then it'll be gently pull back on our yoke. Small bit of right rudder as we do it. Here's 60 knots, slowly start pulling back, and away we go. Get a flyby shot here of Sligo. Goodbye Sligo, you have been wonderful. Right, bring our flaps back in. Start adjusting our pitch now in a sec. Yeah, so we're about 30 minutes or so away from Donegal. So we'll start our turn here to the right. Climb is still good. Passing 1,000 feet. Across here again we have Ben Bulbin, the Gantry Mountain Ranges. Nice reflections here as well. Cool. Could bring up the autopilot here just to have a look and see what it wants to do. We will for the crack. So our autopilot is down here, so we'll turn them on. We're going to select nav. We're going to watch our climb here as well. Do we have an altitude hold? Where did we see this before? What's this guy doing? Let's leave the rudder. What's our speed there? Is there an altitude hold? There used to be, didn't there? That's it there, look. Okay, so that would appear to be altitude hold, so we'll hold it roughly there. This guy should react now and start bringing us over to the left very shortly. Speed here now. We're going fairly sporty here. Yeah, we'll see how the streams go. Like I like I like making the X-Plane videos, and you can edit them and you put music to them and everything else. But on some of the flights, it'd be nice to just have a look around and go for a flight. Around just a little bit. So yeah, like I've the hardship trying to get these planes working, and it wasn't just flight stuff. It's when I put the M20 Mooney in as well. That was the same problem. I had to keep reactivating it and reactivating it. So it turned out the plugin causing problems is from another vendor. It's from, I think it's called XJet is the plugin, and again it's all to do with, I think it's DRM, but you can just move that out of your plugins and that stops the problem from happening. Now you have another problem then when you want to use the other vendor's products, because that'll ask you to activate itself. But it's only a matter of moving things around until there's an update, and I think the Sassel engine is due an update soon. They're probably saying that for months, but I know they're anxious to get it going. So everything looking okay. We have Ortho4XP running here with default mesh. I think it looks great. It looks very convincing. I have I've updated the OSM data for trees and forests, and that's why it's more realistic. You have patches of forests as opposed to trees all over the shop. So yeah, I think it looks all right. So wonderful mountains here, the Dartry Mountains. So if we bring this guy back up, if we look into Ballyshannon, which isn't far up the road at all. Shannon. So you Finner Camp pretty much here. But yeah, like as I said, it's not ideal to land into it. So our arrival into Donegal, it'll be runway 03. So with the options that you have here, the auto fuel select, basically what it does, it's monitoring your fuel tanks. So the whole idea is you don't want to empty one tank because you'll have a huge imbalance. So yeah, it's you can do it. It's more realistic if you're doing it yourself, but for the sake of this short flight, we'll leave it be. That's a whole lot of flying, isn't it? I must check actually what the other guys have, like the other streamers, like Cat Strader and Chevy and all these guys. It'd be interesting to see. Let's remove the plane, our sounds then. Gyro radios. UI. There's the reflections coming back. See, I wonder what sort of an input that has. So we turn these off. Doesn't make much of a difference. No, I have OBS running, recording this. Usually that's kind of locked at 60. Usually, depending on what you're flying. Like if you're flying some of the bigger stuff, it won't be as good. But it X-Plane runs fine. I remember the days of FSX and your entire. It wasn't about flying anymore. The whole idea behind this thing was, I gotta tweak the files, man. I gotta make it run smoother, and someone somewhere has an update, and kind of took away from the good of it. So I'm kind of glad with X-Plane 11 the Laminar have kind of taken away a lot of options from us, and they've simplified it. Now some people don't like that, some people are okay with it, but I'm okay with it because now I'm not spending ages of time and like money as well, like buying the next fixer, tweaker, optimization pack. It's just not needed for X-Plane. What I did find actually, I have the for the first time, I got the Diamond, was it the DA from Aerobask, and it's the first time I've ever had to lower my rendering settings, but it's only with the FXAA, the anti-aliasing. Just let me know if you want to see it. I can go through all the settings some other time. But yeah, that's the only plane I had to do it with, and like, it runs fine. It's just it chops a little bit. But once I lowered the rendering settings rather, it was perfect, not a bother. Some wind farms off here in the distance. Gently moving. As I said, the wind is only 1 or 2 knots, that's all. So yeah, like the actually set up a view here. The Just Flight stuff, the Pipers, they're just, I find them absolutely brilliant. There we go. They're good on the frames, they fly well, and apart from this GTN integration, it's just, you can click it, but it just kind of freezes. Apart from that, you can't fault them, they're brilliant. So, Donegal procedures. We have procedures. I'll just do a visual approach. Runways. Lighting is part-time. 03 and 21. .12 minutes. So yeah, the Ortho 4XP, it's as you can see, amazing, absolutely fantastic. And like, there's a whole chunk of Ireland that has fantastic coverage, great detail, and it's hard to believe because the weather here is useless. It's cloudy and raining and cold and windy every day, but they were able to do it. So far so good. Everything doing what it should be doing. Everything rather is looking just fine. There might be a couple of flickers and frames might drop, but it's purely testing, streaming. Like, I'm using everything off the one PC as well. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You can see lights ahead. That will be Donegal, I'd say. It is. That's a pretty nice view right there. Now, what we got to do, we're going to change our heading bug here, because we'll take it off the nav mod now shortly, because we won't get a perfect line up at the runway. Let's say about there, we'll do it. We'll be turning just slightly left, we'll get lined up. We'll wait till we come over this mountain range here. Cool, it saved it. That's better than that. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing the other flights. Like the next flight, we're going to be tipping into Northern Ireland, and again, like I've bought the scenery for up there as well. So we'll probably go from Derry over to Belfast. From there, might change the plane. Might go down to Abbeyshrew there, kind of cut back across into the Midlands, and then back out to Dublin then as well. And what we'll do, like we'll start picking different planes. We'll go through the hangar that I have of all the planes. I've a fair whack of them, I've loads of them. So anyone who's thinking maybe of, you know, if you want to pick up a plane, or there could be older stuff that still works well in X-Plane 11. If you'd like to see it fly, just let me know. Like just drop a message or an email or that, and I'm happy to do it. There's like the reviews, obviously, you know, you're going to have planes that were released for X-Plane 10, and anything you want, any videos if you like, unless they're just after getting updated. You don't know how well they work with X-Plane 11, because they change around some of the physics, especially with the choppers. Like some of them work fairly well. I picked up the X-Rotors AW139, that's the Air Corps fly, so I was mad to get that. I was like, oh, I have to get that plane, or I have to get that chopper. So I got it, and yeah, it's dated. Like outside it's fine, the sounds are fairly decent as well, but inside it, like the panels and the texture work, it's dated. You know, this thing is old. And I was reading into that during the week. Apparently they're working on a new version for X-Plane 11, so I look forward to seeing that coming out. Like some of the other stuff I have, I picked up the cans and stuff there today. The P51, the B25, the T28, I think it is. That's in the aircraft folder, but the X-Plane 11 won't find it. So I can install it on X-Plane 10, maybe change it in the plane maker. But obviously, it's an awful lot of work just to do one plane. But so far, like the vast majority of stuff works, and if it doesn't, the forums are great, because someone somewhere knows how to do a workaround. They'll get it sorted. They'll figure it all out. So we're going to change to our heading mode now. Down to here. Nav mode off, heading mode in. Start pitching down here as well. Maybe come down about 1,000 feet. Throttle back a little bit. Yeah, so the weather was quite decent. There's good old visibility, and there's no rain or heavy winds or stuff like that to worry about. So all is looking good. This is a nice plane. Strange. Anyway, right, we'll come off autopilot and look after this ourselves. My airplane. Fuel tank changed. Back a small bit on my throttle. Keep my drive just a small bit. I don't foul the plugs. Watch my speed. I had all these overlays working as well when I tried this before, and it didn't work too well. But like, you know, I had the information of where we were flying from, where we're going to, speed, ETAs, all that. So I'll try and get them back up and running if I can. Probably not for a few days though. Just coming into the arc to drop a notch of flaps. That increases our drag and that'll slow us down. We are still a little bit high, but not to worry about. Second notch of flaps. Steep descent here in Donegal. Scenery loading, it's getting a little bit choppy. Oh, we're okay now. Hell of a time for loading scenery, lads. Okay, full flaps. Get our speed right down. Flare. We're down. Taxi light, come on. Bring our flaps back in. Spin around here. Fuel pumps come off. Make heat come off. Sailplane out here to the right hand side. A nice morning here at Donegal. Weather, scattered clouds, doesn't look too bad. Landing lights off. Parking at 3 here. Alrighty. Throttle off. Parking brakes on. Taxi lights off, strobes off, beacon off. Avionics off, even though that'll stay on. Mixture to 0. Engines out. Mags off. Beacon and nav lights also off. And batteries off. Alrighty, there we have it. Welcome to Donegal. It's that was a fun flight. It's a nice morning up here. From here we're going to be heading over this way, over to Derry. We'll get flying up over these mountains here. We'll see how we go. We might do that just as a normal video. I want to do some nighttime stuff as well. So yeah, the scenery is nice up here. It's Donegal is a nice part of the world, alright. So that's pretty much it for me, guys. I hope you liked watching this. If you have any comments, questions or opinions, just leave them in the section below. I'll start putting up a a schedule, if you like, for Twitch. It'd be nice to do maybe a YouTube video edited, and then we'll stream another episode if we can. So that is episode 6 of our trip around Ireland. We're in Donegal now. From here we're going to head over to Derry, and then we'll probably go on to Belfast and continue our way back around Ireland again. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a learning curve for me as well. That's the music playing. It's a learning curve for me as well, because what can I say? It's I'm just not used to it. not with streaming, but sure, look, we'll get there. So until the next time, guys, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you really soon.